I have no sympathy, okay? You've been doing this woman's dirty work for years. You've been attacking people who've just told the truth about your so-called BFF. And you've also sat back, by the way, and watched your BFF as she dumped and ghosted virtually every other BFF that she's had. So this was just a matter of time, Daniel Martin. It was always going to happen. It was only a matter of time before desperate Daniel was dumped. And that's what's happened. Trust me. And it's happened for coldly commercial reasons. Meghan Markle has realized there is big money to be made in the makeup space. And what she has to prove in order to make that money in the makeup space is that she's no longer relying on camp sycophant Daniel, who for years and years and years has actually made her look really bad, including on her wedding day, including at the Balenciaga show, but because he is the ultimate yes man. He's the ultimate Meghan. You've gone through hell. I mean, he actually cried, remember, on TV about her treatment at the hands of the royal family. Hell, they were putting her up in a palace. She's always wanted to keep him by her side. No longer. And this all kicked off after Paris because Daniel Martin made a decision, probably an unwise decision, to post a video preparing Meghan for Paris, taking the credit, of course, for her face. And she erupted about it, forced him to take it down. He claimed, oh, it's because I haven't listed all of the makeup I used. It's going to go back up. But of course, it never did. And then we realize through a series of leaks that this is because Meghan has realized, I'm never going to make a whole load of money. I'm never going to become a billionaire on my current as ever jam project. But makeup, there's big business there. And I'm now a high fashion girly. So I can compete with Kylie Jenner. And so then comes the leak to People magazine after this Instagram picture, which said Meghan Markle did all her own makeup for her New York appearance. And remember, it's People magazine, which is her leak of choice. It's the place that will run anything about her. And I mean, it was a breathless article. You know, Meghan Markle did all of her own glam for her various appearances during her recent New York City business trip. I mean, good on her. The Duchess of Sussex turned to her go-to products from No Makeup, the beauty brand founded by her friend Victoria Jackson. Meghan was joined by Prince Harry during her time in New York and shared a recap of their trip in an Instagram reel. And at the same time, we're learning the background of just how coldly she has treated Daniel Martin from Rob Shooter, who writes, when Meghan Markle says delete, you delete. Shooter Scoop has learned that Daniel Martin, Meghan's close friend and longtime makeup artist, was ordered to remove a behind-the-scenes Instagram video after it caught the Duchess's attention for all of the wrong reasons. The reel showed Martin creating Meghan's Balenciaga look for Paris Fashion Week, calling her skin juicy and glowy and teasing Meghan, if you're watching this, let's do a lip. Within hours, it had vanished. The order came straight from the top, one insider tells Shooter Scoop. Meghan saw it as a breach of trust. She doesn't want anyone revealing her routines or travel details without approval. The Duchess, who runs her image like a luxury brand, reportedly felt Martin overstepped. She's extremely protective of her mystique. Says a palace adjacent source. Sorry, I'm laughing. Everything about her public appearance is curated. She expects full control. Insiders say Martin was devastated and has kept a low profile since he adores Meghan, but he learned the hard way. Discretion isn't optional. As one Hollywood insider puts it, Meghan may have left the monarchy, but she still rules her circle like a queen. Her image isn't just guarded, it's law. Royal YouTube sensation P-Dina with me now. I mean, P-Dina, firstly, I just have to say to Daniel Martin, I have no sympathy, okay? You've been doing this woman's dirty work for years. You've been attacking people who've just told the truth about your so-called BFF. And you've also sat back, by the way, and watched your BFF as she dumped and ghosted virtually every other BFF that she's had. So this was just a matter of time, Daniel Martin. It was always going to happen. And the fact that it's happened over her commercial desire to launch a makeup brand is just par for the course. What do you make of it all?
I just think it shows.
Okay, half of you watching this are not subscribed to Dan Wootton Outspoken, and the best way you can support what we do is by hitting that subscribe button. It is completely free, and turn on the notification bell to be alerted to our new episodes.
Knows how much he doesn't know about Meghan. Like he would have known, okay, she may not like me doing this. It speaks to their relationship. It also speaks to how much he just doesn't really understand the kind of woman Megan is. And he thinks he can take up for her. He thinks that, oh, she's really a great person. And like you said, crying about, taking up for her. And look, this man is so out of line with his perception of who Megan is because she will definitely stab you in the back like they say with the like she's the kind of person she does not care anything about what you have done for her. She doesn't care that you're a longtime friend, you've come on her show, she's done things with you. At the end of the day, you mean absolutely nothing to her. And he has learned the hard way. And I would not be surprised, Dad, if he would maintain a friendship with this woman despite her stabbing him in the back. Because think about it. She does not want to help him. She doesn't want to help lift him up. It's not about him trying to get his own identity outside of Megan. It's not about Megan trying to support him and what he's trying to create online and social media. She doesn't care about you. You're going to be her slave. You're going to be the one that vouches for her at any cost because your value is null. You mean nothing to her. So hopefully he will wake up and see that she really never was a true friend because Megan doesn't care about people, even like people that are working for her. She feels that because you work for me, I can treat you any kind of way I want because you rely on me to make your money. Take it down, Daniel. Take it down. I don't care anything about what you're trying to do with your life and social media and your makeup and branding, because this, I believe, was a step for Daniel to try to highlight something independent from Megan, trying to get out of her shadow, but use her to enlighten himself with his work. So it's no longer about Megan, it's about me piggybacking off of Megan's success to uplift myself to do something different. And that is what she didn't like. She wants to be the one getting the glory, all of the, bells and whistles. It's about me, Daniel. It's not about you. Take that down. That's how Megan thinks. Okay. Daniel needs to wake up to who Megan truly is. He still hasn't, it
No,
seems.
no, he hasn't. And it's pathetic. And of course, she could have, look, if she was a decent human being, uh, she could have involved him in
Yeah.
this range. But she won't do that because,
Yeah.
look, this makeup range is about one thing, P-Dina, and Charlotte Griffiths let slip. It's about joining the Billionaires Club, okay? Because she's
Right. Right.
realised was never, as Lady C called it, simply isn't going to provide her the returns that she wants. So let me take you through some of Charlotte Griffiths' reporting about this in the Mail, P-Dina, Mail on Sunday. She says she wants to leverage her significant influence to build a powerhouse business empire, as if selling edible flower sprinkles and £10 a jar jam isn't enough to keep a duchess in the style to which she's become accustomed. So Meghan is said to be planning a range of lucrative makeup products to boost the fortunes of her lifestyle brand as ever. It's a gamble that has more than paid off for celebrities such as US singer Selena Gomez, who is now a billionaire thanks to the success of her company Rare Beauty. Rumours of the Duchess of Sussex's venture spread after she posted 2 clips on Instagram showing her applying lipstick with the brand names obscured. It's a telltale sign she may be gearing up to promote her own range, industry sources said. One told the Mail on Sunday on her Instagram reel the makeup lined up on her dressing table was unbranded or had the brand labels obscured, which felt deliberate. That's a telltale sign Meghan has something in the pipeline. The fact she didn't want to promote or reveal any other brand is a big clue that she's gearing up to promote her own range eventually. It is a sign for industry insiders. But it is unclear how much profit the business is making because sales figures have not been released. A source said Meghan's cookery never really took off, but it has at least launched her as a lifestyle influencer. The word in New York is that her eye is already onto the next big thing, and that's why she met Vogue editor Chloe Marley during her trip to the city. What makes big money like really big money? Makeup, of course. She could make a lot more money in beauty than selling pots of jam. The source added that makeup is largely about high-end packaging. The product itself is quite cheap to produce, So the markups are huge and there's potential to make big numbers on sales. Meghan clearly has a flair for packaging, so it would be a natural transition. Sorry, I'm laughing. Other sources point out that Meghan's friend Daniel Martin is a makeup artist and accompanied her to Paris, where she schmoozed with former Vogue editor Dame Anna Wintour. While in the French capital for Fashion Week, Martin also posted a now-deleted video about Meghan's makeup look. That prompted one beauty expert to suggest that he could be mentoring Meghan. Well, that part ain't true, okay? We know that part ain't true, P-Dina, because of everything that we've just discussed. But what I do find hilarious here is this is Harry's friends. That's who briefs Charlotte Griffiths, just so you know. So it's like, how desperate are they to find a way to sort of try and positively spin this for Meghan? It's like, oh, she's really good at packaging. Really good at packaging. So I know, let's launch a makeup range. I mean, it's embarrassing. But the reality is this is about the money. It's about the moolah. It's about the big bucks. She needs it.
Yeah, she's desperate, right? She's going to try any and everything at this point. And she is a failed lifestyle, right? Promoter. Like this thing with her trying to make an alignment with selling jam and now doing stuff around makeup. Oh, she's, lifestyle. No, she's failed at it. She's failed at selling her jam. She's failed at even naming her brand. I mean, she couldn't even get the name, off to a good start. So Meghan is just desperate. More reason for the king, hey, make some decisions. She's making y'all look bad, okay? She can't do anything right. This woman, I think, is at the end of the rope, and she's trying to really make money. It's not going to happen. No one is going to invest in Meghan with makeup because I think Meghan she looks very desperate. She looks very unhinged with all the things that she has done. She doesn't have a good base of people that can advise her to do things well. So it would be a failure. Meghan is at a position in her life now where she needs to take the little bit of what she has and just go live a simple, quiet life. But the more she tries to branch out to now do, cosmetics and to do things around all these other things where you can make billions of dollars. Look, you're not those people that have made billions, okay? You're the failed version of these people that have made billions. It's not going to work out for you, girlfriend. Just go away and live a quiet life. Save the little bit of money you have. Because this, right, especially with Harry right now, like, what is he going to do? How is he going to support you? I think Meghan and Harry are so lost as a couple that they can't build anymore. There's no way to move forward successfully because it's just kind of falling apart, everything. And they have these children now. That's where the focus needs to be because now I believe with the children, that needs to be more security with that in their lives. Meghan's attempts at trying to keep doing something else now is just going to be very bad, I think, for the children because it's just getting worse and worse. It doesn't get better. I think Meghan is just at a point in her life now. She needs to just give it up, girl. You tried and it just didn't work out. Accept it. It's time.
P-Dina, Piers Morgan has been talking about Harry and Meghan and why he made the decision to include them in his new book. He's also got a big revelation about William, which we'll come to in just one moment. But first, let's set up how he's feeling about the couple now, because he's certainly calling on them in terms, I mean, he's obviously never liked them, but just with the idea that actually people are that interested in them. Watch this. But first, this time of year, the air gets harsher, the heating's on, and skin takes a beating. Dryness, fine lines, that loss of bounce. So now I need to tell you about how I've been avoiding those issues through the incredible products of OneSkin, the world's first skin longevity company. It's led by an all-female team of PhDs in skin regeneration and tissue engineering, and their standout technology is the OS1 peptide. Instead of just masking dryness, OS1 is designed to work at the cellular level, targeting senescent cells, the troublemakers behind wrinkles and reduced elasticity, so skin can behave more like its younger self. By addressing aging at the source, OS1 helps support a stronger moisture barrier, improves the look of firmness and bounce, and smooths rough, tired-looking texture. The result is skin that looks and feels more resilient, better hydrated, and visibly healthier, supported from the source rather than just the surface. The range is simple but powerful. The best sellers: OS1 Face, a moisturizer and longevity serum in one; OS1 Body for crepey, dry, or thinning skin, perfect when the seasons change; and OS1 Eye, their most concentrated formula for the delicate eye area. Every formula is dermatologist tested, safe for sensitive skin, NEA approved, backed by 5 published clinical studies, and trusted with over 10,000 5-star reviews. If you're ready to upgrade your routine for the colder months, start with Face and build from there. This season, don't just moisturize, support your skin at the cellular level with OneSkin. And for a limited time, you can try OneSkin with 15% off using code OUTSPOKEN at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with the code OUTSPOKEN. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. And please support our show and tell them it was via Dan Wootton Outspoken. Try OneSkin today. But now, back to the show.
Talk about Harry and Meghan as we're talking about the
If we
royals.
have to.
Do you actually hate them?
No, I actually have less and less interest in them.
But they do feature in a chapter of the book.
They do,
There is a
because I
royal
think-
chapter.
Yeah, there is a chapter really about the royals generally, but also about, to me, what they represent is the epitome of the worst aspects of wokeism. The virtue signalling, the victimhood, the always blaming other people, the rank hypocrisy, jumping on private jets and preaching about the environment, preaching about poverty on their Twitter account and then having a $500,000 baby shower and so on. There's sort of an underpinning of hypocrisy, double standards, virtue signalling, victimhood, all these things which I despise about the woke mentality. But they've become increasingly less relevant, really, is what I would say. I've never met Prince Harry, so you can't hate someone you've never met. He's slightly weirdly obsessed with me, I think, and that's fine. I don't care. I think in her case, she's got what she wants. She's gone back home to California, has a lovely life of luxury, but her status over there, if you ask Americans, is pretty low now.
Yeah.
They don't view them as A-list at all. They view them as, just falling stars, really. And I think that that's a sadness for Harry. I don't know what really he thinks he's getting out of all this.
I mean, P-Dina, I think that's fair to say, isn't it? In saying that, there's still great interest because in some ways, falling stars are the most desperate. They do crazy things, right? Like through history, it's actually been falling stars who people are fascinated by at times rather than people who are actually succeeding and achieving their goals in life.
Yeah, I think it's like the train wreck we all like to see. We watch them and we love watching something that is disastrous. And I think that's the only true element of fascination that they bring. It certainly isn't about their work, what they do. It's laughable. And I think Pierce is definitely, you know, making all the right or saying all the right things. I mean, he's been there from the beginning, met with Meghan, and he saw how she treated him and how she's treated other people from the beginning. So Meghan and Harry are just at this point, no one really has anything good to say about them. And I like to hear what Piers says because it's on point with everything. And in America, yeah, I think we just like watching at least the people that know what's going on around Harry and Meghan like watching the disaster of this couple because that's what they bring. They bring entertainment and enlightenment to something, fun to watch because we don't want to see them. I certainly don't want to see them successful with all of the horrible things that they have done to their family and to other people. And that's what we see is happening. And yeah, good on what he says about them. It's right on. I like Piers Morgan, what he says, because he knows more than anyone, I think.
Yes, and I was going to say he does have real royal connections. Remember, he's friends with Queen Camilla. And this exchange is actually far more interesting, in my view, P-Dina, because he reveals, and don't get me wrong, it's something that I have reported for a long time, but I think hearing it from Piers is really interesting. And it is that it's just that William's never going to forgive. He's just never going to forgive. And
Mm.
sure, Piers says, look, people do change their mind, but it's very, very clear. And his sources from the royal family are shit hot in this. And he is just utterly convinced of what I am, which is that William believes that Harry needs a life in exile. It's a really interesting exchange. So watch this and I'll get your reaction after.
He's reconciled somewhat with his father.
Well, has he?
Cups of tea last month and all
God,
that.
a 40-minute meeting in 2 years.
I wrote a column and got absolutely lambasted for it. And it was completely caveated with, look, I know they have just been literally the scum of the earth when it comes to their own family, selling them out on Oprah, selling them out on Netflix and all the rest of it. But the King's had cancer, Kate's had cancer. Isn't life too short? Shouldn't Prince William be the bigger brother here?
I don't think
think
William will ever forgive him.
No.
And I'm not sure I would. I mean, if one of my brothers did that to me.
Yeah, but you'd
and
hate
the family,
your sons to be at war.
Yeah, but if one son did what Harry's done publicly, trashed the family,
but hang on,
carried
we've
on
just been
trashing
talking
them.
about Trump's power of forgiveness of you. I mean, how long can one bear a grudge? Because you say very openly you have on-off relationships with different celebrities.
I settle lots of grudges, yeah, but I just have heard William will never make up with it. Now, maybe he will. Families are complex things. I don't know them that well, you know. Maybe they do make up, but I think that he said a lot of very hurtful things publicly about the family, from Camilla to Kate to Charles.
Well, as you point out, he then backtracked to Tom Bradby and said, no, we were talking about unconscious bias.
Yeah, absolute horseshit. Sorry, horseshit. And we all know it was. We all watched that Oprah interview. I mean, I have a vested interest in remembering it because it led to my pretty sudden departure from Good Morning Britain for disbelieving it. You know, I think they've made their ugly bed with the viciousness they've gone after the family and the way they trashed the monarchy. They're very unpopular in this country. I mean, to be as unpopular as Prince Andrew, given what he's been engulfed with, is quite an achievement. But they are, if you look at all the polling.
That's a subject for another podcast.
So that was really interesting, wasn't it, P-Dina? Because he just says it with utter certainty. William's not going to forgive.
No, he's not. And I don't think he should. I think, if anything, you can be cordial. You can, show somewhat, okay, I'll put up with you. You are my brother. But beyond that, absolutely not. William, and, how dare people say that William needs to do anything? Like, William hasn't played any hand in the things that Harry has done. He never motivated him, gave him a reason to do all these things. William was just being William, and certainly Catherine was just being Catherine. So they should just leave William alone. He can do what he wants. He's in a position to, do things or not do things because, he's the one that had to go through it. It was his wife, his family. So I don't blame William for never, ever wanting to accept Harry back or, Meghan for that matter. And nor should he. And anyone saying that he needs to step up to the plate and just call it, okay, a truce, whatever, shame on you for saying William should do that. He hasn't done anything. He was attacked. He can do what he wants because he is the one that experienced it. So, yeah, I believe,
Totally. And the thing is,
William.
P-Dina, what people just don't realize, or a lot of people don't realize, is that William has a very long memory and he's incredibly different to his father. So where his father can be emotionally blackmailed in some ways because he feels bad about things, right? So like Charles still feels bad about what he put William and Harry through as children because of the divorce and because of the affair and then because of Diana's death. Like, he feels haunted by that. And so there's a weakness there. William doesn't have any of those weaknesses. And as I always say, he has his red lines. And once you've crossed those red lines, that's it. And he's not going to forget either. And actually, that type of ruthlessness, I would argue, is sort of what is probably needed right now in the British royal family.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think William is just doing so much. How can he afford to just, think about these things and try to, make things better? He is so busy and so preoccupied with a lot of important things that he should be afforded the opportunity to not even have to think about Harry. Seriously, Harry is a waste of time for him. And at this point, I think you would serve yourself better health wise to do just that. You can't afford to try to bring back in that cancer of Meghan and Harry, or to think that you can, try to quell that whole situation. It's really bad for you. And you just never know if they're going to use things in the future against you to make your life even worse. And then it's your fault for taking them back. I think at this point, yeah, he's doing the right thing, and good on him. I really feel very optimistic about the future with William and the things he's going to do, to your point about making these hard decisions. I think there was even some issue with William and the king around some things that around Harry and choices, and because William, he is just at a different era. I think he just wants to live his life and completely different than how his father did. Really show that he can have a successful marriage. He can make the hard decisions around, the monarchy, and do good things in the community. And with his Earthshot Prize awards, I think that's an amazing initiative that he has started. So I just feel really good about William and have nothing negative at all to address about him.
P-Dina, just one other thing I wanted to show you, which was Meghan Markle on stage at the Fortune event. Once again, just totally lying about her early days in California, beautifully proved by the super sleuths online who juxtaposed her own words with what she was actually doing at the time. Watch this, P-Dina.
People's assumption that if I was going to go into business, it would be fashion or beauty. But those 5 years at home, I wasn't running around wearing beautiful outfits. I was probably in Birkenstocks and sweats like the rest of us, especially during COVID, or just barefoot at home.
So my family had just moved to California. We were staying in our friend's home. And because it was the pandemic, I kept ordering boxed hair dye. And I thought, I'm going to look just like she does on the box. And instead, it was this very inky, almost Elvira-esque black hair.
So again, I mean, it's like you can rewrite history as much as you want, Meghan.
Mm-hmm.
We bring the receipts.
That's right. We saw what you were doing, girl. You were doing a lot of things, trying to be relatable. No, Meghan, you were out there making a fool of yourself, actually, I think, when she went on Ellen's show. And I think Meghan just lies so much. She can't keep her lies straight. She just says things that, we can pull back up on the internet and see what you're saying is not true. And she doesn't care. This woman does not care that we see her lies, that she's a very dangerous person, because I think a person that can lie like that can do some serious harm. And Meghan is nothing but a conniver. She connives, plots, plans, does all these things, lies, and doesn't care. She has no conscience. And that's a dangerous person to me. Yeah, Meghan, we saw you, girl. We saw you.
P-Dina, brilliant as ever. And do make sure you subscribe to P-Dina's incredible YouTube page for so much more royal action. We will see you next week, P-Dina. Thank you so much. And if you do want full access to our Royal Uncancelled After Show, twice the length of what you have just watched, then do subscribe to my Substack. www.outspoken.live is the address. Paid monthly or annual subscribers get first access to the full Royal Uncancelled After Show every single weekday, live or on demand, whichever you prefer, with no advertising whatsoever. Substack's such an important platform for me. You can message me directly on there. So come on, join the party. www.outspoken.live. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.